Namaste, sir.
Namaste. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. We've got about 3 more minutes to go. Unless anybody has a question, I would mute myself. Just in case anybody has a question, they can ask me. I'm muting myself up. I'm still hearing. Let's see for another 1 more minute. Okay. Ardra is a little long, so let's start so that if somebody joins, maybe they'll listen to the recording later on. All right. So when we ended Mrigashira the last week, you must have noticed the mantra, the Somasye Anvaka Vitatani Parastat Vayanto Avastat. This is the mantra on which Mrigashira has, ended. Wherein you can see, if you're relating this to Ramayana, what happened was, when the deer came up, when the deer has shown up in front of the golden deer, which has shown up in front of Rama and Sita, they got into an illusion, and Rama ran behind the deer, and Sita got kidnapped, okay, by Ravana. So the Vayanto would mean trapping up, okay. So the trapping up of Sita, because they went in search of, Rama went in search of an illusion which did not exist. So Sita got abducted. That's what the Vayanto would mean. Trapping into a situation wherein you cannot escape, and you have to go through the pain of getting trapped up into something. This may still bring some prosperity to the native, but there is a lot of work that you have to do, because if you see the katha or the story of Ramayana, unless Sita gets abducted by Ravana, the story would not have made any sense to anyone. The story made a lot of sense because Ravana, the demon king, got killed. So the objective of the story is to get the demon king killed. So for which Sita had to be abducted. Had there been no abduction, Rama would never have attacked Ravana, because there may be several kings on the earth which Rama did not want to disturb. Rama was very happy with what he was getting. Okay, so once Ravana had abducted Sita or kidnapped Sita, that's when the story got extended. Once the abduction of Sita has happened, that's when Rama became Rudra. Okay, that's where the next nakshatra, the current nakshatra we're going to discuss, that starts. So let's look at what Arudra says. So Ardra or Arudra would mean the same. In the southern languages, we call it Arudra. In the northern languages, we call it Ardra. Both would mean wetness or moist. Being moist is Ardra. So the mantra is Rudrasya Bahu Mrugayavaha Parastat Viksharo Avastat. Okay, this is the mantra. Now, when the Sita got abducted by Ravana, Rama became a Rudra. Because as long as Sita was visible to Rama, Rama was the most happiest person. He was very happy because Sita was beside him. As long as Sita was beside him, Rama was always happy. Because when you see the story of Ramayana, when you compare it to us, let's suppose you are in the position of Rama. Assume that you are Rama. Now, when the Dasharatha, the father of Rama, called up Rama and said, Rama, I have become old. Tomorrow you will be coronated as a king. Okay, be ready for it. Rama did not utter a word. He just said namaste to his father and went away. He was neither happy nor sad. Okay, he did not have any expression. Okay, he did not either feel sadness or sorrow, or he did not feel any happiness for it. So he was very neutrally taking that up. Okay, when after a few hours after the episode of Kaikeyi happened, Dasharatha once again called Rama and said, Rama, Bharata is going to be the king and you have to go into exile. Even then, Rama did not utter a word. He again said namaste and came back, took Sita along with him, and Lakshmana joined him. They all were happy going to the forest. But once Sita got kidnapped, that is when Rama became very ferocious and Rama became very, very angry on the situation. Okay, Rama became angry because Sita was not visible to him. He got to know that Sita got kidnapped and she is in a big trouble. So he wanted to help Sita. He wanted to get Sita out of the clutches of someone who kidnapped her. He did not know who he was. So he kept on asking everyone who he could see. When he could not see people in the forest, he kept asking the trees, he kept asking the sea, he kept asking the mountains, which did not have any voice to reply. Okay, he kept on asking the living beings or the animals. They did not have, the humanly voice on which they can reply back. But he kept on asking everyone. The moment nobody replied, Rama took out an arrow out of his Banatunira, we call it. Okay, he took out an arrow from the quiver that he has and tried to aim it to the sea or the ocean, and said, "Look, I want my Sita back. Otherwise, I'm going to cause destruction of the world." Then the Samudra came out and said, or the ocean god came out and said, "Please do not destroy the world. Your Sita would be visible to you. Don't worry." Even then, Rama did not find any solace in it. He kept on searching for Sita. So let's see the mantra. Rudrasya bahu mrugayavaha parastat viksharo avastat. So the Rudra would mean two things. One is Rama becoming a Rudra because he could not find Sita. Sita got abducted in the previous stanza of the Vayanto Avastat of the Mrugashira. So Rama became very, very angry. So this nakshatra starts with anger, cry, howling, not happy with the circumstances, lot of responsibilities, unhappy situations, and things like that. Okay. And because Rama could not find Sita with him, Rama went on a search, okay, trying to search the deer once again, or trying to search the Maya behind it to understand where Sita went. He kept on walking and searching. He kept on walking and searching, did not have food, did not have water for many days. Okay. So Rudrasya Bahu Mrugayavaha Parastat Viksharo Avastat. There is another side of the story that happened even before the Ramayana happened. That's the Rudra story. The Rudra story also we will get to see. Okay. So the nakshatra deity of this is Rudra or the Shiva. Shiva is called Rudra when he is very angry. Shiva is called Shiva when he is very calm and composed. Okay. So calm and composed nature of or the facet of Shiva is called Shiva. The angry man is called as the Rudra. So Rudra would mean somebody who is crying or howling. Okay. Somebody who is very angry and howling or crying, trying to destroy everything is Rudra. The symbols are teardrop. Teardrop in the sense when you cry, you get teardrops. So that's the symbol of this. And also a few more symbols are shown here. The other is a male dog, which is very aggressive and very territorial. And also a diamond, who is very, which is very shining and multifaceted. We'll also look into those things. And the kind of nakshatra, this is a Tikshana nakshatra or a Daruna nakshatra. Okay. So Tikshana or a Daruna would mean something the person is not very happy about, a situation or a person or a relationship, or something that he's not very happy about, or something that has started at a very early age in life. So if this rises with the Lagna connections, somebody who has a very, very difficult start at life, who's had many responsibilities in life, at least in the very early childhood, or but at a very early age where people would be going to school or would be at the college. This person might be having kids, or this person might be having might have lost his father, and if it's a man, might have lost his father, and he is trying to support the family despite the fact that he's just a kid of about 15 to 20 years old. Usually at this age people are at school, while this man is trying to support the family, trying to earn some bread from somewhere and trying to feed the whole family. Okay. This is one thing. If it's a woman, it could be like in the Indian context. If we take, she's married off pretty early, and she has kids. She has to take care of the family when her husband is away, and things like that. These are some of the traits which you can see when the first lord gets connected. Okay, and the native is in search of something. All right, we'll come to that in a small while. Let us complete these few things. Otherwise, we might lose the context of this. So the nickname is Star of Wetness. So this person is very emotionally driven. Okay, this person does everything in life driven by emotions, not applying any practical senses, but completely driven by emotion. So somebody comes up to him and asks him emotionally, look, I don't have money, I'm pretty starving, I haven't eaten for 2 days. So if the native hears to this, even he did not have money, he'll try to pick money from somewhere, arrange it from somewhere, and try to feed the person who does not have anything to eat. Okay, this person gets emotionally carried away a lot because he's Rudra and crying. Okay, and the foundation above is to hunt, because the moment Rama got to know that Sita is not home, he tried to search her, he tried to hunt for her everywhere uh, in the world. That's what Rama did. The foundation below is to reach the goal. He wants his Sita back. Okay, the Shakti here is Yatna Shakti. In the Sanskrita, we call it Prayatna Shakti or Yatna Shakti. Prayatna is to make an effort. Okay, so this person is trying to make a lot of effort. This person is trying to make an effort of at least 100 people. So if 100 people are required to to do a task, this person is trying to do it alone, and he's trying to take the responsibility of all the 100 people on his shoulders and trying to move forward. Okay, that's what the nakshatra is. It's a wonderful nakshatra for prosperity, wonderful nakshatra for everything. The only trouble you might get from here is, for any reason, if the wife went disappearing from the life, then it's trying to create havoc in the native's life. If the wife episode or the wife's part is good, or the spouse's part is good, then this nakshatra is going to do wonders for you. So this person is going to take responsibilities very happily, because he's got a wife beside him or a spouse beside him or her, and very happy with any of the toughest situations that he's facing, because that's how life is. He would take it happily because he's got a wife alongside him. Okay. The final desire of this is to gain lordship of over animals. Now, if you see the previous nakshatra that we have dealt with, the Mrigashira is the Parvati or the Sati that we have talked about, because the nature is called as Parvati, and the Pashu or the animals are lorded by the Shiva. So, if you look at the food chain, okay, the food chain that exists in the world, there is water. Due to water and sun, there are plants. Okay, due to plants, that means there is water, there is earth, and there is sun. The moment we have all these three elements, along with the atmosphere that we need to have on the earth, elsewhere we don't find any life. So when we have water, earth, and the sun, we have plants. The moment we have plants, we have animals. So there is a total food chain created, okay, right from the microbes. So when the whole food chain is created, these stars are going to help people to earn food or make a living, or trying to make a living better. Mrigashira and Arudra are very good for prosperity, are very good for everything. The only trouble that you might get from Arudra is when the Arudra is very strong. You may get one of the significations lost, which we will talk in a few minutes. So let's look at what Rudrasya Bahu Mrugayavaha Parastat Viksharo Avastat would mean is Rudra. Okay, the first thing is Rudra. Name Ardra would mean wetness. That means somebody who can be moved emotionally. You cannot go to Arudra and challenge him. Okay, somebody is an Ardra. You go and challenge him. He is going to reply back very ferociously towards you. He's going to jump over you and eat away everything of you. That means he's going to howl upon you, and he would tell you that don't challenge me. I can answer any of your questions. But the moment you're trying to approach him very emotionally, look, I'm in this problem. You are the only person who I can trust on. You need to help me. Somehow I'm stuck with something. Please help me out. This person would be the first to jump over and help because he likes helping people. Okay. I mean, why I'm using he or she, I mean, both would mean the same. Anybody of the native, it's a general neutral thing. So anybody who's got a Lagna connection with Ardra would be very happy to help people. First thing, only when emotionally approached. The moment somebody is trying to rule over him or trying to force upon things to him, he wouldn't like it. He would completely destroy the whole objective of a job. Let's suppose there is an office. Okay, in the office there is a boss, and there is this native who reports to the boss. The native Arudra reports to a boss. The moment the boss is trying to tell him, look, my super boss is coming, I'm little stuck with something, why don't you help me out with these things? This person would jump in joy. The Ardra guy would jump in joy and say, boss, I'm there for you, don't worry, I'll get this done. So let's suppose this job usually takes for 3 days to complete. The person who's jumping in joy, the Ardra guy, would do it in 1 day and give it back to the boss. So otherwise, or if the boss tries to impose something over this Ardra guy and asks him to do, hey, look, you need to do this. I don't know how would you do it. Then he would completely spoil the whole thing and would not even report to the boss. Instead, try to take a revenge on the boss because he's trying to be bossy over him. Ardra would not like anybody to boss over. This is one of the very different traits anybody might have. He would not like anybody to boss over. He thinks he's the boss. Okay. So that's one thing. Let's also look at what Rudra would mean from the other stories of Rudra. Okay, Rudra, Daksha, and Sati. Let's look at that. So Rudra, if you see Shiva is like, you must have seen Rohini, the Nakshatra Rohini we have discussed here. So, okay, we haven't got the recording uploaded here, but if you see the Rohini is the Brahma. Okay, so the recording we would do through Rohini at the end of all the nakshatras because accidentally I did not record Rohini. So we look at that at the end of all the nakshatras. So if you look at Rohini is the Brahma, and the Shravana nakshatra or the Shravana is Vishnu. Okay, and you have Brahma already there, but you don't see Rudra or the Shiva. But if you look at the disposition of the whole Trimurti thing that we have, what people would think is, I mean, the Shiva would be the oldest, and because we do not know who the parents of Shiva are, we do not have an understanding of who the parents of Shiva are and who the parents of Vishnu are, and we cannot date them. We don't know who is elder as well. But some people would still rate Shiva to be elder than anyone. Some people would say, no, the Vishnu is elder than anyone. There is a lot of confusion. We'll not get into those intricacies. However, what I would rather say is in the Pisces, which is the darkest sign. Okay, in the Pisces is the ocean. Okay, because when you look at all the watery signs that are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, Cancer is the sign which has rivers in it. Rivers, all the rivers are in Cancer, so that's fresh water. That's where the mother is. So the fourth house, the natural fourth house is Cancer. So mother is like fresh water. We would be very happy to go to our mother. We will find a lot of comfort meeting our mother. So That's why it's linked with rivers. And whenever we have the Kumbh Mela sort of things, we find them in rivers. So the next sign of the watery sign is the Scorpio. That's the muddy waters or the marshlands where there is, water and earth together. And the final thing is the ocean, where all these water would unite and flow into an ocean or a sea, for that matter. So what happens here is the sea was the first thing to form. Even the evolution has also agreed this. So the theory of evolution has also agreed that the sea was the first thing to form, and there were microbes that came up, and algae and things like that, and uh, that's when the evolution process started. So if you see, Rudra was the person to be born as the first person. I mean, a lot of people call him Adi Yogi or the first man to be born. This is a lot debatable, but we do not know who was born first, either Vishnu or the Rudra. For the ease of understanding, both came out of the sea at the same time. Let's assume like that. And there was entirely darkness around, because at that point in time, under the water, even if you see underwater, there is full darkness, because above ground and in the universe, we have ventured into a lot of stuff, but we haven't seen the depths of the ocean completely. We do not know how the marine world is beneath the ocean waters, or where the ocean bed is. We do not know much about this. Even if you look at in the scientific community, we do not know how the marina trenches, what is the kind of fauna and flora available there. We don't know the kind of animals that live there. A lot of animals we don't know, a lot of microbes we don't know, because it's very highly pressurized place wherein you cannot reach there. Once you reach, you cannot come back. It's pretty difficult to actually venture into the depths of the oceans. It's more difficult for a man to reach the depth of the ocean than to reach into the space and look at all the planets or the galaxies that we have. Okay. um, so these two people came out. I mean, the Vishnu and the Rudra came out actually at the same time, but Rudra remained in darkness, or the Shiva remained in darkness till the time there was a real need for Shiva to come out. So when the process of evolution was happening, and as in the Rohini, I said Brahma requested his Manasa Putras, the people who he created from his mind. He requested them to actually take part in the process of having intercourse internally within themselves and start to produce offsprings. And because the Brahma's Manasa Putras came out of the mind of Brahma, they were very divine beings, and they did not want to get into the process of birth and rebirth, birth, death, and rebirth. That's what the karmic cycle or the karma cycle of the Hindu philosophy would suggest, that we have birth, we do some deeds, we have death. Based on the deeds that we did, we are reborn again as some of the yonis. I mean, it could be any of the animal on the earth, or a tree, or an insect, or a microbe, depending on the kind of work that we did in the past life. And we would keep taking births again and again and again and again. Okay, that's called as the birth and the rebirth cycle. They did not, I mean, the first people, the first children of Brahma, who came out of Brahma's mind, who did not came from a woman, Brahma created just by himself. Those people did not want to take part in the process of evolution by mating with each other, because they thought this is not right, and they abstained from doing any of these acts, and they started doing japa. Then Brahma had to create a woman. He had to, run behind her and create all these species. When this was happening, when Brahma was given the role of, carrying forward the process of evolution, although a lot of people asked Brahma to carry out evolution, or the lot of gods that they were there. I mean, if you look at the whole process, it's like this. There is one thing which came out of nothing. That's called the divinity, or the group of gods that we have. So there was nothing actually at the start. Then came fire. And along with that came all the 33 gods, of which Brahma was one. So Brahma was given the responsibility of creating the universe by populating it. So once the population of the thing started with the Saraswati, the daughter of Brahma, people started objecting it, or the gods themselves started objecting it, despite the fact that the process of creation was completely in the hands of Brahma. They have left it to Brahma, do it the way you want it, but we want this world to be populated. We want to see this with population. Because his children did not heed to what Brahma was saying, Brahma had to create a woman, and he had to, he had to go with her and create all the species. This was a little unacceptable for the Vishwe Devas, we call it. Vishwe Devas are the 33 gods, of which even the Brahma is one of them. And this was not acceptable to them. Once this happened, they have created a person called Rudra. Okay, that's one of the stories. So the Rudra did not exist before Brahma. Rudra actually came after Brahma. Actually, that can be right as well, because Shiva existed, but Rudra did not. Because unless there was creation, there was no need for destruction. So till the time Brahma did not create anything, Shiva was under deep meditation and did not bother about this world. The moment the process of creation started, that's when the need for destruction came in. Because assume there is only creation and no destruction, the earth will be populated and populated and populated, but there will be no people dying on the earth. So earth will one day become overcrowded and it is going to collapse on its own. So to help this process going on, Shiva came out as Rudra. And the moment Vishwe Devatas have seen the other side of story, I'm trying to explain it to you. The moment the Vishwe Devatas have seen that Brahma is trying to get into his own creation by doing this sin, they thought this is a sin, this is not right. And they have called upon Shiva and said, look, you have to stop Brahma. This is what he's trying to do. He's not been given the full understanding of what the whole thing is happening. So Shiva took out his arrow, his bow and arrow, and shot Brahma. Brahma till that time had 5 heads, and Brahma actually has lost one of his heads due to this. So this came out, and Brahma has become the deity with just 4 heads. That's the origin of Rudra. So Rudra was very, very howling and started running behind Brahma, and he did not hear anything, and he just cut off the head of Brahma. That's one story. The second story of Rudra is when Rudra and Sati loved. Sati actually loved Rudra or the Shiva and wanted to marry Rudra. Sati Devi. The father of Sati Devi is Daksha Prajapati. He's also like a Brahma. At that point in time, this man Daksha Prajapati behaved like Brahma because he was ruling the entire earth, and he is the in charge of populating the earth. So once that was happening, Sati wanted to be with Rudra or be with Shiva, and she went up to her father and said, look, I want to marry this man. I like this man, so I want to marry him. So Sati was warned by Daksha. He said, no, you are a rich woman, Sati. You are the king's daughter. This man Shiva is living in a place where there are no facilities. He's living in a place, a graveyard is his home. He's trying to live there. He's trying to help the evil spirits or all the kinds of dead spirits who are not humans anymore. What will you've been living in comforts? How would you live with him? Better do not marry Shiva. Sati did not hear to any of her father's lines. She went ahead and married Rudra. Rudra was one of the gods of the Trinity, because Brahma, Vishnu and Rudra are called as the Trinity in the Hinduism. And Prajapati or the Daksha Prajapati actually belonged below him, below these three people or the Trinity. But Prajapati Daksha was expecting a lot of respect from Rudra or Shiva because now he is the father-in-law of Rudra. But however, Rudra did not pay much of respect to the Prajapati. So there is a misunderstanding between the Prajapati and the Rudra. So the Prajapati was doing a yajna, the sacrificial altar or the fire ritual that people used to do in those times. Even now we do it, but it's not as elaborate or as big as it used to be in those times. So for the sacred yajna that was being done, he was invoking all the gods. The Daksha Prajapati was invoking all the gods except for the Shiva, the god, the Rudra or the Shiva. He was not invoked. So Shiva got a little unhappy and said, "Okay, that's fine. If he's not invoking or if he's not inviting me to the yajna or the sacrificial fire ritual, I'll not go there, and I'll not ask my wife even to go there." But however, Sati pleaded. The Sati Devi pleaded Rudra or the Shiva, and she kept on saying, "My father is doing a ritual. Let me go and see because my sisters as well would come." So Sati's sisters are all the nakshatras. The 27 nakshatras are the sisters of Sati. So Daksha Prajapati is the father of all the nakshatras, or the Brahma himself is the father of all the nakshatras. So once this happened, Shiva tried to tell her, "Do not go there. You may not earn any respect during the ritual because he's very unhappy with me and he might insult you. You will not bear it. Please don't go there." Sati did not hear to any of the things that the Shiva said. She went into the into the sacrificial fire ritual or the yajna. And Prajapati kept on insulting her, and at last she jumped into the fire that's happening there, the ritual that's happening there, into the yajna kunda, and she gave up her life. Rudra got to know this, and he was very furious on Daksha that he kept on insulting her. He got to know the whole story. So Rudra came very, very ferociously upon everyone and tried to kill anyone who came in his way. At last, he is also killed Brahma or the Prajapati then, the Daksha Prajapati, his father-in-law, and he lost his head. Then Vishnu and the other gods came up and said, "Look, he is the Prajapati. He has to rule the world and try to populate the world. You cannot kill him. Please get him back to life." So Rudra got this man back to life, Daksha, with a goat's head. Okay. So the goat is the same goat or the deer that we have seen in the Mragashira. Okay. So there will be interlinkings between each nakshatras like this. There will be like, why this goat that appears in the Aries is here, or the deer that appears in the previous nakshatra is here. You might have a few confusions, but these are all interrelated, and all these are connected to each other. So what do we get out of this story is Rohini would not like Arudra. Okay, Rohini is the Prajapati. He would not like Shiva. The Prajapati and Shiva had differences. So if the seventh lord gets placed in the Rohini, there is some issue with the father-in-law. Okay, or if the seventh lord gets placed into Arudra, I mean, I would rather look at the Dispositors first, the seventh lord's connections with the Dispositors thing. If it makes an axis with the Arudra and Rohini, I would carefully observe if something is falling wherein there is some some bad relationship that might arise due to Mars's aspect as well, which I would explain it to you in a short while. But what we can see is, because these two oppose each other, if they are father-in-law and the native, then that's when you would see marriage between two people of different class or different caste or different creed, different religion, which is not acceptable to the family or the father of the native. Okay, so One is having connections to Rohini with the Ardra. We'll see into it if possible. Maybe this time or the next time we'll look into a few examples as well. Or the next time when we get a chance, we'll do some examples as well. Rudra, in view of helping the whole, this is one more thing. If you see, when the first thing was happening, when the evolution process was happening, or even before the evolution started, there was churning of the ocean. Of the Milky Ocean was churned first, and that's when the planets came out. I mean, if you see our galaxy is called as the Milky Way, and the Milky Way was churned, and all the planets came out. When this was happening, a lot of poison came out. When this poison came out, Rudra was the person who came up and said, I'll drink all the poison and help all the multiverses, because our concept of Hinduism is having multiverses. It's not just a single universe, but there are multiple universes that are continuously existing at the same time. So we call them lokas. Loka would mean a universe. So we have a multiverse. So if this poison which we are churning out the ocean, and if this poison goes out, it is going to destroy all the lokas. So let me drink all that poison. So what we get out of this is, this person, as I said, the Arudra, is going to help people just for the sake of helping them. Okay. Because if Rudra, refused, nobody asked or requested Rudra to come up and say, hey, Rudra, why don't you help us by drinking the poison? Nobody told him this. He came up voluntarily and said, look, I would drink up all the poison that's coming out of this, and I can help all the mankind, or I can help all of the, the living beings that are existing here, or that you would rather try to create after this episode of the churning of the ocean is done. So once that happened, Parvati, or the Sati Devi that existed as a consort then, she did not stop Shiva or Rudra from drinking the poison. She encouraged him, go ahead and please help people. So what we would also get from this is, this person is happy as long as wife is alongside him. Okay, it's again goes back to the Rama story. Rama was very happy despite the fact that he did not have any food to eat in the forest. He was a rich man, he was a king's child, so he had all the comforts, and he had all the food that he wanted to eat at his at his doorstep. However, in the forest, he had to hunt for himself. He had to find food for himself, and also feed his brother, younger brother, and also his wife, who both are young. So Rama did not even feel for it. He did not, ever felt very bad about it. However, the moment he found his wife to be missing, he was very, very, very upset with the situation that he had at hand then. Okay, and so we have a famous saying in the Rudra, or the Rudram, that we have, that is Siva Rudrasya Bheshaji, Rudra Sivasya Bheshaji. So the wife can turn the man into a Rudra, or the wife can turn the man into Shiva. For this, there is a famous saying that we get to hear, or the famous episode that we get to hear in Telugu people who talk about Purana here, is that, let's suppose there's a wife and a husband and a kid. So the husband comes back off from the office, and this little kid at home is actually trying to play, and not hearing to the mother, and that's when the wife goes up to the husband and says, look, this kid is not hearing to me. The husband actually howls at him, hey. The moment he just gives a hey, the kid is going to eat, happily play, and sleep. So there is some kind of respect for the father that comes out from Arudra. And let's suppose the husband comes the next day, and she says, look, this is the mark sheet that came up from the recent exams that your kid has taken, and he got all zeros in everywhere. So the person got very furious. I mean, the dad got very furious and started to beat the child. The moment the dad beats the child, the mother comes in the way and says, would you want to kill him? No, right? Stop there. Don't beat him anymore. So she can make the person, the native, to be a Shiva or a Rudra. The moment Shiva hears from his wife something, he would stop there. He would not go ahead of doing something against her. Okay. Rudra happens to be born at the last of all three murtis. So there is another saying that is, or we got to see Rudra only when Brahma has come in, because after the creation, only we need a destruction. So there's one school of thought that would say is the Vishnu came up first, then the Brahma came, and then the Rudra came. In that context, even if we observe, because the abode of Rudra is the Himalayas. We have a Kailasha Parvata here, and even now people believe that over the Kailasha Parvata or the mountain of Kailash, Rudra is sitting over. So okay, what happens with this is Rudra is the person who is very approachable, who can hear to anyone, because he's the nearest of all. I mean the Brahma or the Vishnu are in the upper lokas or the upper universes which we cannot see, and it is easy to approach Shiva, and he would hear to anyone who is in a difficulty. Okay. And we also get to see that he also helped Brahma in the process of creation, because Rudra is someone, Shiva, who can be turned into Ardhanarishwara, or a person who has both the genders within himself. I mean, he is half a man, half a female. So when the early process of evolution started, we all know that there were unicellular organisms from where the whole process started. When the unicellular organisms were there, it had both the male and female thing. That's when the process of the multiplication can happen. We can think it like that. So Rudra would have both the qualities of male, female, transgender, and anyone. So he's a very multifaceted man. He has the knowledge of everything, and he looks like a diamond who is shining in all the fields as long as he has a wife. The moment he does not have a wife for any reason, Rudra would become the howler, and he would lose everything, or he would destroy all of his things, or he would destroy any prosperity that he had for all of his life. All right. So Rudrasya Bahu Mrugayavaha Parastat Viksharo Avastat. You can see the Rudra. The Rudrasya would mean the Rudra, howler. So the person who is howling and who is very roaring, who is very angry, who is trying to help everyone, who is giving everything free of cost, who is trying to, who's trying to be like a father of the world, and who is trying to accept jobs which any other person would deny taking up. This person would happily take them up and try to complete them easily. These are all the qualities of Rudra. This person stays in a place where there is a semi-urban life possible, or he would not like the high city culture. Let's suppose you get this person into a New York Times Square thing, wherein you have busy roads and busy lives. This person will not like it. Arudra would be happy to live in a semi-urban place where he has access to everything. If he wants to go into a little bit of the foresty area where there are more trees and stuff like that, he wants access to that. He wants access to a few cars. He wants access to groceries. He wants access to everything in the world. He needs small amount of everything. Okay, but he would not prefer one thing in abundance. He would need everything in small quantities. That's the quality of Rudra. Bahu. This is the most important point that we would need to look at. Bahu. Okay. Bahu would mean, everybody must have seen the Bahubali movie. So Bahubali would mean the person who has very good shoulders, okay, or very good arms. The shoulders would mean he's trying to accept any amount of load over him, or any amount of weight over him, or he's trying to be responsible. He's trying to be sharing hands, or showing up helping hands for anybody who is in need of a help. So that's what Bahubali is. Even in the story, in the movie as well, the hero or the protagonist is shown like a king who is trying to help everyone. Or even when he's in the exile, he tried to help everyone. So it's just the same thing. So he's trying to be responsible or trying to help everyone, this man, and he's trying to take up huge amount of responsibilities at a very young age, because this word Bahu comes up as the second word in the mantra. I mean, I would always say, if the mantra is like this: Rudrasya Bahu Mrugayavaha Parastat Viksharo Avastat. The first two words or the three words would be half the life, and the fourth word, I mean, I would remove Parastat and Avastat, because these are common words across all the mantras, and I would only take 1, 2, 3, and 4. Every mantra has only got 4 words. Only out of these 4 words, people are trying to make stories out of these, or trying to decode the whole thing just with these 4 words for all the nakshatras. And whoever have done these videos have only decoded these stories only from these 4 words. So Rudrasya Bahu Mrugayavaha Viksharo, all these 4 words would be like 4 parts of life. Or Rudrasya would be at the start, and Viksharo would be at the end of life. Okay, so if you look at that, Bahu comes up like at the second quarter of life. In the second quarter of life, this person is like trying to be overly responsible. He's being pushed into responsibilities. He's trying to help too many people. And in the third point of time, he's trying to, Mrugayavaha would mean hunting. Even in the previous nakshatra, we have seen the Mrugashira also is like hunting something. So even here we would see searching something. So Sita is not visible to Rama, and Rama kept on searching for her. Okay, and Sita was not visible to him, but he was trying to think Sita must be happy somewhere, or Sita might have got killed. I don't know what happened to her. Okay, that's what Viksharo would say. Viksharo is a state wherein the person is neither happy nor very sorrowful. So this person is neutralized. He's only waiting for something to happen. So in the next nakshatra is where the Punarvasu comes up. Rudra Punarvasu. Yeah, the next nakshatra is Punarvasu. That's when the Hanuman would appear, and Hanuman is going to search for Sita, and Sita would ultimately be appearing, and Rama would be happy for it. So Rama is one way happy here, saying that look, because Jatayu came up and said, look, Rama, I've seen Sita. She's got into Lanka, and she's with Ravana. So don't worry, she's doing fine. I can see her. She's crying, but she must be fine now. Don't worry about her. So Rudra or the Rama is in a position in the Viksharo wherein he's neither happy nor very sad, but he's trying to give up everything. I mean, I would give up everything just to meet my wife. I would sacrifice anything to just meet my wife. I need my wife back. Okay, this is what is the whole nakshatra all about. Let's look at some of the traits. I'll explain this to you in a short while, whatever I have missed out. Okay, let me complete this line. Mrugayavaha would mean a person who is earning, a person who is in search of money, person who is in search of prosperity, because Sita is prosperity. She's the Lakshmi Devi of the Vaikuntha, because Rama is the Vishnu and Sita is the Lakshmi. Lakshmi would mean prosperity, Lakshmi would mean wealth, Lakshmi would mean well-being, Lakshmi would mean everything. Okay, anything that relates to safe well-being. So this person is behind the wellness of everyone in the family and also outside the family. He's trying to help everyone. But there is one thing that we need to understand from here is whoever he is trying to help, people are actually cursing him back, saying that, look, you have not helped enough. You could have helped me more. This is one more negative trait that Arudra might face. That is, despite helping people, Arudra might face insults, because Rudra is generally not regarded as a good god because he's causing destruction. Okay, because nobody wants a person who is destroying. Actually, Rudra is trying to help the universe by causing destruction, because just assume, if there is only population on the earth that is being created and nobody is dying, the world would have got destroyed at least a billion years ago, because within a few hundreds or within a few centuries, the earth would have got so much overpopulated because nobody is dying, and the earth would have collapsed by then itself. But the constant process of creation and destruction and keeping this in a cycle is what is required for the universe. So for the betterment of the universe, Rudra is trying to destroy a few things. So this man, sometimes what he does is he gives up relations, or he gives up friendship with some people, just because those people are trying to mock this person or try to copy this person, and they are not as intelligent as Rudra is. For example, if a person is very intelligent, okay, and if he is in the college and he has some friends, the person who is Arudra is very intelligent, and if he studies just for 15 minutes, I'm just giving you as an example, if he studies for 15 minutes, he gets everything of the subject taught at school or college, goes into the examination hall and writes the paper very clearly, and he may stand first in the class. However, his counterparts, his peer group, are average students who are not as intelligent as the Rudra is or the Shiva is. They need at least 3 to 4 hours for them to be successful at exams. So this Rudra will realize and start cutting ties with them, and he will not even let them know that this is the reason he's trying to cut ties. So if he is cutting ties with them, it means that it is for their prosperity. The person, the native, is actually trying to cut ties with them, but he would still earn a blame for it. Look, we've been so friendly towards each other, and suddenly you stop talking to me and you stopped trying to spend time with me. Because what happens is, Rudra, after having read for 15 minutes and got the whole gist of the thing, he goes into the examination hall and writes. That's very good. But the other 2.5 hours, he's trying to be playful and joyful. So at that point in time, if he meets friends who are studying, they'll give up all their job and will unite with Rudra or the Shiva and play with him, which the Arudra would not like. Okay. So he tries to cut off ties just for the well-being of the other people. Okay. This is one more trait you can see, but still earns a bad name for doing this. So it depends on the kind of planets placed here. Okay. We'll do some examples. Maybe after one more class, I'll pick a few examples and we'll look into them. Okay. So this person is knowledgeable at a very young age. This you have to see. This person is very responsible at a very young age. This also will be there, because there is Rudrasya Bahu. Knowledge, because Rudra is the person who has got the knowledge of all the 4 Vedas and all the Vedangas, and he is the most educated person. He has the knowledge of all the yogas, because that's why we call him the Adi Yogi. Okay, so he's the most well-read person or well-educated person, you can say. I mean, I would not say well-educated, but I think he is one of the person who has got high knowledge. So sometimes it can so happen that this person may not have got the education in a proper way, but he is still doing very well and much better than the people who are already teaching. Let's suppose this guy is in a college. Okay, the Arudra is in a college. He'll go and advise the teacher. Look, professor, the thing that you have explained yesterday is like this, but no, it's not like that. It is like this. This is how the concept has to be explained. So he'll go up to the professor and still tell him this is not right and this is right. This may sometimes upset the professor. The professor may not like it because a kid is coming up to me and trying to tell me how I should teach. This is not right. So this may bring in a few ego problems, okay? Because the kid is very, very, very knowledgeable. Sometimes it may go positively, sometimes it may go very, very wrong. And this person does not care about it. I mean, the Ardra fellow is not going to care what the teacher is going to think. He is up to explain it to the teacher because the teacher is not doing it correctly. The teacher has to be explained that this is the right way of doing the concept for the students. Or maybe it could be anything, or could be a math problem wherein the teacher gave a wrong solution to the problem. This guy went up and said, look, this is how it has to be done, not like that. Okay. Or it can be a boss, or it can be someone who is very learned and did some mistake. This guy would stand up and say, no, this is not right, this is right. All right. The other problem with the Rudra is the moment he's provoked, the moment you're trying to touch his ego, or the moment you're trying to prove him wrong, or the moment something happens to his near and dear ones, this man is going to jump over and cause destruction. Okay, and he will leave you speechless. You would never expect the person to be that harsh on something. I mean, he would cry over everything, he would howl over everything. Okay, that's how Ardra is. He is very helpful as long as you don't touch his ego, or you don't try to push him too much, or don't try to be bossy over him. You try to be little submissive in front of Ardra. He is going to give you miracles. He's going to deliver the best for you. You can't expect the kind of miracles Ardra can do the moment you're trying to be little submissive in front of them. Okay, or you try to approach him little emotionally. Look, I'm in a very difficult situation, you need to help me out from this problem. You are the only person I can trust, and things like that. This person is like, oh, I'm waiting for such a person, please come, please come, I'll help you out right now. Within a minute, within minutes of time, this person is going to, the Ardra is going to help the person in need. The moment he is praised, or the moment he is emotionally approached, both these things will always do bad to Ardra, but will do good to the person who is approaching the Ardra. Okay. So the Ardra is actually losing because people are approaching him by praising him, or people are approaching him emotionally. These two things, actually, it is good to have a control for Ardra. The moment somebody praises an Ardra, it means that there is some job that he's trying to take from him. And most of the times, Ardra is not careful for it. Ardra does not care because he knows this man is trying to cheat me. He knows it clearly. He's only trying to, you know, talk good about me because he wants some job to be done for him. He knows that. Despite that, he would try to help people. That's how he is. So he is a person who is not going to run away from a situation. He is going to say, yes, I'm responsible because I did this. Okay. I'm not going to give away responsibility, or I'm not going to blame somebody else for the deeds that I have done. If I have done something, I am responsible for it. If a bad happens, yes, I would take it. If something good happens, he would still give credit to somebody else. He's not going to take the credit as well. He is interested in money making. Ardra is very good at money making. He is looking at money. He's on the money, you can say. Okay, because he has enough knowledge of how to make money. This person has enough knowledge of everything, of which one of the facets is making money. Okay, so he's very careful on how to make money. He's very knowledgeable on how to make money, how to retain money, where to invest money, how to take care of money and stuff like that. I mean, you cannot say Arudra is bad in this. Arudra is good in almost every part of life. Okay. So the only touch I would give on the negative side for this is any planet placed in Ardra is going to work very well only when the the married life of the person is good. If there is a problem in the married life of the person, then there is some problem which it can lead to anything. Always look at the whole horoscope in total. Most of the times I try to exaggerate things just for the sake of exaggeration, and you get them to the core. If I just give them the surface level predictions, then it's very difficult to remember. I try to emphasize on the things very much. I try to exaggerate a little bit. Don't get carried away with these things. These are just for you to to keep you live in the class, and also to have an understanding of what all can go wrong and what kind of extremity you may have from this nakshatra. It's not that you're going to face extremities from everything or the complete positive things. You will get always a balanced result from all the nakshatras. However, it's important for anyone to know what negativity you have from each nakshatra, so that the person can improve upon it, may do some remedies to counteract the ill effects of the nakshatra and so on. So sometimes it may look like a little exaggeration. Pardon me for that. However, anything that appears on the negative side of it, like I said, if there is a problem from the wife, or wife is dead, or something happens like that, then you have to look at it from at least 3 to 4 angles or 3 to 4 locations. Just not place Arudra and give away the prediction. However, always look at the divisional charts, the respective divisional chart for each of the prediction that you're making. Like if you want to make a prediction for wife, you would look at the Navamsha. Without looking at Navamsha, do not ever predict what is going to happen to wife, or you don't give away any prediction for life. In fact, Navamsha has to be consulted for all of the walks of the person. It's not just about the wife. Parashara would say, look at it for everything. Navamsha has to be looked up for everything. Also look at D10 for professional issues or professional prosperity of the native. And also look at the yogas that the planets are making. Once the nakshatras are all over, then I would talk about uh, the yogas or the planets first, and then the yogas, and then we will look at just the examples. All right. So the teardrop, these are the symbols that you have. One is a teardrop. The other one is a male dog. The final one is a diamond. So let's start from the diamond. The diamond is if you look at diamond, how diamond is made. A diamond is nothing but a coal, just a simple coal thing or a carbon, which has got huge pressure in the crust of the earth. It gets huge pressure, and it becomes a diamond. So diamond becomes a diamond because it's pressurized. The same is with Ardra. Ardra is going to get tough situations in life because Ardra is going to be a diamond in the life. So for him to be ready for the future endeavors, for the native to be ready for the future endeavors, God is going to give him tough time at the start of life, okay, or in the middle ages, more appropriately between I don't know how to say this, around 15 to 40, between 15 to 45 or 20 to 45 is the toughest time that he is going to face, because he's making him ready to excel in every area of life. Okay, the moment that age crosses, 99% of the times this person is going to excel in everything. He is going to be remembered for a long while by all of his family, even after he goes away, because he's going to help everyone in the family, or the community, or the office wherever he works, and things like that. He would be remembered even after he leaves the office. Yes, this I went up with a problem to him, and he helped me in a jiffy. When he solved the problem in a jiffy, that's what you would hear from the person. Okay. Now we have the male dog. The male dog is usually aggressive from its female counterpart. Okay, so Ardra is actually aggressive because male dogs generally, unless provoked, dogs do not bite, or dogs do not bite till the time they are secure. I mean, the moment they see that something is wrong with the person, they're going to bite. Otherwise, no. Unless the dog is a mad one, or it's got rabies infection or something like that. So usually a male dog, uninfected dog, is not going to bite you unless it feels insecurity, or it feels little bit. I mean, if you're going to attack, or something like that. Okay. So provoking a dog provoking Arudra would result in a bite. So this person is going to bite you back the moment you provoke him. So it is important for people of it's important for others to know how to handle Ardra. Do not provoke Ardra. So teardrop, Ardra means wetness. So this is one emotional side of Ardra. This person is going to help everyone who would cry in front of him, or show helplessness in front of him, and things like that. But most of the times he would get a blame back from the person whomever he tried to help, and gets a bad name for it. However, Ardra wouldn't care for it. Okay. So that's what the word Vikshara would mean. So he doesn't care what's happening. He would reach a point wherein for him any good happens doesn't change much. Any bad happens, even that doesn't change much. He would still keep doing what he's doing because he thinks this is the right way of doing things. I'm doing it for my sake. You want to witness what I'm doing? Please witness. If you do not want to look at me, don't look at me. This is how I am. You want to accept me? Please accept. Otherwise, please leave. Don't give me lectures. This is what Ardra is. Okay. So the Yogatara is the 7th degree. I apologize so much. I need to actually have added up the Mrityubhagas and things like that. Forgot that. I'll do that maybe the next class or so. If you can refer the Mrityubhagas and stuff like that. So the Yogatara is the 7th degree. That would mean any planet placed here is going to give high result. Okay. Do not think you would get only good results. It is going to give all the Ardra results much better. That's what I would say. A Yogatara would mean all the nakshatras results are very well pronounced. Okay. Nowhere you would think that any position is going to give only good. All the positions are going to give you both good and bad. No planet, no position is going to give just good, no bad. That never happens. Okay. All the planets, all the positions are going to give both good and both bad. Okay. Both good and bad will always come from any placement. I mean, do not get carried away by people saying, oh, first house is good, second house is good, 12th house is bad, sixth house is bad, eighth house is bad. No, it's not like that. You have a planet in a house. Let's suppose in the first house there are a few goods. In the first house you have few goods and few bads. Sixth house, few goods, few bads. So you have a package. It's not just like you get very good from some position and you get only bad from some position. This is completely absurd. This is wrong. I don't know where from this crept into the system, but a lot of people, what they think is, no, I have so many planets in 6, 8, 12, my life is bad. No, it's not like that. Or it may turn bad because all of my planets are in 6, 8, 12. And somebody who has planets in just Kendras and Konas, or the trines and the quadrants, they're just happy because they have got planets in them. No, it's not like that. You are going to get good and bad both from all the placements. If anybody comes up and tells you you have got Jupiter in first house, good. If somebody says like this, he's a useless astrologer. Don't go to him. Okay. Jupiter in the first house will give you good and bad both. Jupiter in the 12th house will give you good and bad both. Jupiter in the 8th house, both good and bad. Each thing has both. No position will give you 100% good. If some astrologer is saying this, he is a useless astrologer. Don't believe. You have some you will have good at both the places. Okay, equal good will be there at all the positions. Emotional talks and emotional decisions are a problem for the native. Okay, the first house connections you have with Ardra. So how we look at them is you have a planet, okay, in Ardra. So what we look at it is it dispositing something? So is it being a dispositor of some house lord? We look at that first. So if a planet is there in the Ardra, one may have as a first lord dispositor, or a cusp of a first house falls in Ardra, or the lord of a house falls in Ardra. We have given 12 houses for it. Never take any of these hard and fast. These are just to, throw some ideas to the people so that they'll start thinking in these lines. And most of the predictions can be very different based on the whole horoscope. Just do not go blindly over these things. So emotional talks and emotional decisions are a problem for the native. This person takes all of his decisions emotionally. Okay. Sometimes it is good to have softer planets in the first house rather than having Saturn or Mars or things like that in the first house for their own thing, because Saturn in the first house would even cause more emotional disturbance in Ardra. Okay. But Saturn gives a lot of stability, lot of knowledge, lot of let's suppose Saturn is in Ardra in the Lagna, it's the 8th and the 9th lord, is going to give you enormous knowledge of what to do and what not to do, because he's the 8th and the 9th lord. He's going to give you a lot of knowledge on the dharma. He's going to give you a lot of knowledge on the Vedangas, like the Jyotisha. So you just need to know how to use the planet. So never think one planet at a place is going to give you only bad. This is a very wrong thing to have in the mind. Always you have both things. Second house, Shiva is actually the head of languages. So he must be having a lot of knowledge on the languages that he's speaking, or he may be knowing many languages. He's very good at the grammar. He's mm, he has he has all these traits of a very good what you can say, a spokesperson kind of person. Third also would mean communication. So see, he may have very good skills or hobbies, and he can advise very well if he has got some third house connections, third lord dispositions, etc. In the Ardra. He is going to advise very well, or maybe having some you know hobbies which are very good, which can bring him a lot of fame, because Ardra will bring you fame, because Ardra will make you a gem. Ardra will make you a diamond. So diamond is the most costliest of all the gems, and this person may rise very quickly in ranks, or the cadres, or the position, or the corporate ladder, whatever you call it. So this person is going to earn money, prosperity very early in life, because the third house or the third lord cusp is placed there. Fourth house usually does not want to be in a place which is very highly populated. He would want to live little aloof, staying connected uh, with the rural or the semi-urban place. So he would usually move away from a very busy environment. Okay. Fifth house, first, fifth, and ninth. These are very good places to have Ardra. Although this person will be emotional, even in the fifth house or the first house or the ninth house, it would mean this person is very emotional, or takes wrong decisions for his life, or tries to help too many people, or tries to take too much of responsibility. it is good to have these first 5, 1, 5 or 9 in Ardra, because intelligence or the kind of knowledge this person has, because even the 5th house would say, talk about the knowledge or the intelligence, because it's the 9th house from the 9th house. So that would also mean intelligence and knowledge. So he would have so many ideas, and he would not be selfish of the idea. So this person is selfless and tries to help everyone. So such person's idea would actually benefit the whole mankind. For the fact that maybe he may miss out a few things, like there's a kind of a scientist, okay, who developed something. Instead of patenting this, he would give it away free of cost for the benefit of everyone. That's Ardra. Okay. So if somebody else is there, he would try to patent this up and try to earn money out of it. Even Ardra would earn money. Do not think Ardra is not earning money. But if Ardra becomes selfish, he's going to earn even more and more and more money. That's not good for Ardra. Ultimately, what happens is all the money that he has earned, if it's in excess of what he actually wants to have, because Ardra lives very simple, frugal life. He does not want to have big bungalows and stuff like that. He's not interested in that. He's interested in staying aloof with minimal requirements. Not that he would live in a jungle, but he wants to live in a minimal requirements of that day's standards, and have a wife, happy family, simple living, maybe having a car or two, just a couple of bungalows, not more than that. Even though that he is very knowledgeable, very capable, and things like that, he would not do anything that would harm humanity. This is what you need to look at. Okay. The next is Rudra, 6th house Rudra. So this person is not very clear on who is actually hating. Okay, 6th house, 6th lord, dispositions. He does not know who his friends are and who his enemies are. He would actually trouble himself, because the moment Rudra makes a friendship with the person, he cannot cope up with the kind of intelligence. The other person cannot cope up with the intelligence of the Rudra. He would be so smart, the Rudra, and the other person is not as smart as Rudra is. And two Ardras cannot be friends, because Ardra always dominates. Ardra will not pick friends who are Ardra again. He would leave them. Okay, both the Ardras will never unite. He would always leave them. If you look at in the school, if somebody is an Ardra, very strong Ardra guy, do not think just the moon placed in Ardra is going to have these traits. Okay, so somebody who has many planets in Ardra is not going to pick. I mean, I'm talking about such a person, or having the Lagna Lord Dispositor in the Ardra. That's the first thing to look at. Or at least has 3, 4 planets in Ardra. He's not going to pick an Ardra again, because he does not want to be dominated by anybody else, and he wants to be in charge of himself. His life he does not want anybody to take control on his life. And two Ardras can be entirely different. One may be, a guy who is just drinking and smoking and roaming all way. And the other Ardra is actually very, very devotional and spiritual. So there can be two extremes in the Ardra, because Shiva can be represented both the ways. And Shiva has always stepped out of the home and lived away from the home. So any Ardra is going to bring, could be eating habits or drinking habits, which his father did not do. Let's suppose his father was a very devout person who never smoked or drank in his life. This Ardra, can be a person who is always smoking and drinking. So he's going to be exactly opposite of what his father is. Or if his father was a vegetarian, this person becomes a non-vegetarian for the first time in his whole family. Or if his father was a non-vegetarian, has been smoking and drinking and spoiled his life, this person is going to be exactly opposite of him. The Ardra is going to be exactly opposite of his father, wherein he's trying to do something very differently. He's like a vegetarian. He prays at least once in a day, follows all the rituals and things like that. This is more important, or the most important things I would say. Wife is very important for Rudra. So the seventh lord dispositor, seventh lord cusp, seventh lord himself. So I'll give you an example here. Sagittarius is the lagna. Okay, Sagittarius lagna. Let's suppose Mercury is in the seventh house. Okay, Mercury is in the Ardra, third house, and even the cusp also falls in the third house. Mercury is in the third house. So now what happens? Ardra is in the cusp of the seventh house. Ardra's Lord Mercury, I mean the Gemini's Lord Mercury is in Ardra. The dispositor of Mercury is all, I mean the dispositor of seventh house is also Mercury again, which is again in the Ardra. So all three fell in Ardra. Most likely that there is a problem with the marriage, or the marriage is going to end, or there are problems with the wife, understanding issues, or wife and husband are staying separately, divorce issues, and stuff like this can happen. But always cross check from the Navamsha. Okay, always cross check at least from 3-4 things, then only spell it out. Otherwise there can be smaller problems or some other problem which you do not know as yet. Okay, this can happen more importantly when the Mercury is in the own sign in Ardra. Okay, Mercury in Ardra, be very careful, because the cusp and the Lord and the dispositor both will be in Ardra, which will make the Ardra stronger. And Ardra is actually going to remove one of the significations. So let's suppose Aquarius sign is the Lagna, Aquarius Lagna. You have Mercury in Ardra. Now, if the cusp, just the fifth lord and the fifth house are in Ardra. So even this can deny children, okay, or this can deny very great thoughts. You can remove one of the significations of the fifth house. Okay. In the previous example, which I did, like the Sagittarius, which I explained about the wife, it may not be wife. It may just show, let's suppose when the business started, a person started a business who's an Ardra. There are 3 people. Okay. And unfortunately, one of the partners died. So only 2 partners are remaining. Even that can happen. So just don't jump over and say, no, it did not happen. No, this can happen. Okay. So a partner can be missing. Or there are 3 partners, but one of the partner does not talk to this man. They don't have good terms. They're not in good books with each other. They don't talk to each other at all. And this person went missing out of his life. Although the fact is both are partners, but the other partner who is there, I mean, there are 3 people, of which the Ardra is not talking to one of the partners. The other partner talks to both of them, and the show will run. That's how it is. Even that can happen. 8th house. This can be extremely good sometimes. 8th house, 8th lord, Mercury in own sign in the 8th house. Scorpio Lagna, 8th house has Mercury in the Ardra. This can be very good sometimes. This can be very bad as well. So it depends on the other conditions that you have to look at. So one is having a good inheritance. Despite having good inheritance, he will leave all the inheritance because he's not interested in money. He'll leave it to his siblings. I'm not interested in money. Please take it away. You can take it. I can earn my money. I'm capable enough. Or he has excellent knowledge of the occult sciences. Okay. I repeatedly tell you, just don't stop here with whatever predictions I'm making for these houses, because it's important to see the whole chart and make a prediction. What I'm trying to give you is what I have seen. I have just seen a few examples of Ardra, how they behaved, and I just went on typing, and I don't even remember uh, which horoscopes I had in mind while I was typing these. So just don't depend on these blindly. Always have your homework done. It's not very difficult to understand Ardra, or for that matter, any of the 27 nakshatras. So 9th house, this person is going to climb up in life, because this is the Bhagyasthana, or the 9th house is the is the future or the fortune of the person. So the person is going to get position very easily. He will get the position first, and then he will learn a few things. Let's suppose there's an office set up and there's a position vacant. This guy will get the position even before he's qualified for the job. Then he will go there in 20 days, he'll learn the job and he'll try to do that better than his boss. That's how Ardra is. That's how strong Ardra is. The traits of Ardra, you can see. This person, when he came in, he did not know anything about the job. And that's such a difficult, critical job for the company, but he will be picked up. His manager or his super boss will see the spark in him and he'll pick him up with just the belief that this person will learn anything and will do. Because this person is a very good orator. He can speak very well. He can demonstrate whatever he has learned till date, he has implemented in his life, and he has made a huge number of achievements by showing his resume there. And once he gets the job, he's going to excel there and do much better than his boss, and his boss may be replaced, or his boss will find a new job because he's very, what do you call that? Insecure of his position now. Any day this guy can replace me is what the boss would feel, and he will search for new job. Okay. The 10th house would also, I would say, the same thing. But there is some disconnect with this Ardra, with the Vikshara thing that you may have. When he is at the peak of life, when Ardra is at the peak of life, he's making excellent money. He's doing everything right in his life. That's when the Vikshara comes up. When the Vikshara comes up, the person is going to throw away everything into the air and say, I don't need this job, money, and stuff like that. I would want to retire, give up everything. I don't need money. I got sick of doing this stuff day in and day out. I have done enough in my life. I've faced enough challenges. I don't want to do anything more. Please leave me. Don't try to come and meet me. I want to stay aloof. Even this can happen. Okay. When the Ardra is overly overactive, this also can happen. But 99% of the times, what happens is there's another nakshatra which comes up and tries to support Ardra because he has already done so many good deeds in the life, and a lot of people will support Ardra. Or he would be in a place wherein he does not have to do anything. Things will automatically happen, and this person remains like a consultant in the company, uh, not consulted by many unless there is a big problem to solve. So something comes up to him only when nobody else can solve it. That's when this person gets into it and tries to do it, and he's happy doing it rather than doing a 9 to 5 job every day, doing the same stuff every day. Ardra is not interested in that. He would want to do something after a few years, or when he is in his late 40s or so. He would look at jobs which would need least presence of him, or the meaningful presence of him. I mean, he would think any biggest job or the toughest job, okay, call me. Otherwise, routine job, let our people do. And the management or the company would be happy to offer him the position of that because they know or they value this person's intelligence. Okay, 11th house can also be the same as I gave it for 9th, 10th, and 11th, 9th and 10th. So it can be like because 11th house would mean salary, or the 11th house could mean the elder siblings. So the elder siblings are very knowledgeable, very talented, good earnings. They're following the dharma, very good ideas they have, and stuff like that. Okay, or even the elder brother may be missing. I mean, one of the elder brothers may have died. Just in case Ardra is very strong. Okay, just not having the 11th lord placed in Ardra would mean the brother could have died or something. That no, I would never say that. The moment you have Mercury in Ardra, that's when it is making it more stronger. You add up Rahu to it, it will further enhance it. Okay, so Mercury and Rahu together in Ardra would make it even stronger. Some other planet like Jupiter is aspecting it, it's even stronger. Or one more planet, Saturn is aspecting it, it's making it even stronger. So the moment more planets are aspecting it or more planets are in Ardra would make Ardra stronger. But do not take anything hard and fastly and jump over and make conclusion with just one combination. Always look at divisional charts. They are going to help you in finding out if the event had actually happened or not. Okay, it will show up even in the divisional charts. Like somebody has to lose a father, a wife, or a brother for that matter, which I told you now. It has to show up even in the divisional charts. Otherwise, it would not happen. 12th house, he would want to be in isolation. Would not want to meet a lot of people because 12th house would mean isolation. Planets very strongly placed in Ardra would mean a place wherein it's like a forest. Hardly there are any families close by because Rudra is called the Pashupatinath. Okay, Pashupatinath would mean the lord of animals. So where would animals be? It's in the forest. So 12th house would also mean isolation in the forest, or the Vanaprastha we call in the Hinduism, where the people were going into forests after spending a good amount of time at home, or when they have grown older. All right, I think I would stop here. Anybody has questions or anything that came up into your mind while I was talking about or describing Ardra, I would be happy to hear. Did anybody get some connections?
Yes, sir.
Questions?
I have a question, sir. Just like Pushyami
Oh, I'm
and
sorry. Just a second. Just a second. Yes, ma'am.
yeah, some of the stuff is working. The moon is in Ardra, so yeah, I can see some of the stuff. My question is just like you said, Pushyami and Stravana go well with each other. Like that, is there any nakshatra that goes well with Ardra or that reflects or influences that works with, aligns with?
Very good question. Very good question. I would encourage everyone to ask such questions. Okay. Look, Ardra is a neutral man. Okay. He would not want anyone to take over. So I would say Ardra is neutral to all of the nakshatras. Okay. Ardra is neutral to even Rohini, which does not like Ardra. I mean, Rohini does not like Ardra, but Ardra still likes Rohini in the same way as he likes every other star. The only thing I would say is thought of something and I forgot. Can you repeat your question once again? There was something in the question which I actually forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, the nakshatra that goes well with Ardra, or Ardra influence the nakshatra that influences or get influenced by Ardra.
Okay. So uh, some nakshatras may not like Ardra, is what I would say. Like Rohini does not like Ardra. Jyeshtha may not like Ardra. Vishwadevas tried to influence the Ardra. So you can see the Rudra became very ferocious, or Rudra became Rudra himself from Shiva, because the Vishwadevas have actually provoked Rudra and told Rudra to go back, go and attack Brahma, or go and attack Brahma. That's what Rudra came out for. So the Vishwadevas are placed in the Uttarashadha. So Uttarashadha may provoke Ardra wrongly. So you have difficult planets in Uttarashadha and Ardra. There are two opposite kind of planets who do not like each other. Then there may be provoking from there. How I can say is, let's suppose you have, I don't know, I'm just hypothetically saying, you have Mercury in one side and the Mars on the other side. One is in Ardra and the other one is in Uttarashadha. These two can provoke each other. Okay, so that's not a very happy disposition. So depending on the houses they are owning and the lagna, you may see from where the problem is coming. This is an excellent question.
Yes.
Yes, Vemuri.
Yeah, how do we determine that it is compatible or not compatible, one nakshatra with the other? Is it by the traits like this Ardra is furious and kind of right? So is it by that you determine, or you said that it is not compatible with Jyeshta and Rohini, right?
So, okay, if the compatibility that you are looking at is for matchmaking, I would recommend do not do any matchmaking with the Moon's nakshatras. They're not going to work.
No, it's just by the mindset.
Just the mindset who Ardra can go along with. Ardra will go along with anyone. You pick all the 27 nakshatras, Ardra is very comfortable with. Ardra is not comfortable with his own self. One more Ardra comes up, he's not comfortable because Ardra tries to dominate. The other Ardra as well is trying to dominate. So that's what the Ardra would not like. Okay. Yeah. Always use divisional charts. Try to listen to as many. Try to listen to the lecture as many times as possible because most of the times you may not get this in one go. It will take some time for you to actually. It will take some time for you to actually digest the lecture. Because I would be looking at, I would be running more horoscopes in my head and I'm trying to deliver lecture. So you also need to have about 50, 100 horoscopes in front of you. At least go to astrotheme.com. Okay. Just pick random celebrities. Mostly, non-Indian celebrities you would have in astrotheme.com. Go there, pick up AA charts. There will be rating, which would mean AA. Okay, in the Astro theme. If there is, I'll just show it right now. Where I picked up a few charts for the Telugu lectures, I'll just show it right now. Astrotheme.com.
Because as I was going through Ardra, I was looking for some Ardra personalities. Then I came across Diana, so I was trying to correlate.
Okay. So I don't know. Just type the name of the person. So there's a celebrity search here, as you can see. Can you see?
Yeah. We can.
Okay, you can see this, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let me just write Mahatma Gandhi. So as a type, you can just see Mahatma Gandhi here. You can press OK.
He has Gemini in Sun. Okay.
No, I'm just trying to show up what it will show. Wait for a second. Okay. So you can see here, there is a source. Okay.
Yeah.
Reliability is C. It means that the time of birth is not very accurate. Okay. Just click on this. It will show up like this. So you have X, AA, AAX, AA, B, and C. So this is AA charts. Are data coming from the state, from the family, birth certificate, baptized, time, and so which are very reliable.
Okay.
AAX is that there is a date of birth, but there is no time of birth. Even that is not very accurate. So always pick up something which is AA. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
This is astrotheme.com. You may have to spend some time on it. You need to know the celebrity names, unless you are a person living outside India. It's very difficult because I don't know many of the celebrities because I don't watch Hollywood. I don't watch any of that stuff. So I used to watch Hollywood lot long ago, not now. I don't get much of the time. So maybe you can find cricket stars. The only thing is, unless you have a AA rating and they are born outside, very difficult to have them.
Mhm.
Okay. Sure. More questions? Anybody has? Is the lecture good? Any feedback that you have?
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Sir, I had a connection with Ardra. What you
Good.
said in the class, what you said in the class, as you said that people who are connected with Ardra will very knowledgeable, but will sometimes will face issues while regarding subject with the teacher or something. You said no, sir. Actually, the thing is, when I'm preparing for my final exams, during my practical, I was asked a question and I told the answer, and examiner was like, no, it's wrong. The thing is, before appearing, the 2 months before my exam, our edition was changed. So I got the book and I showed the examiner that what I said was not wrong. It's correct, and he felt offended and he failed me in practical. Though I got 3 distinctions during that time, it was happened.
Okay.
But the thing, I don't know how I was connected to Aradra, but on cross checking, I was running Ketu Dasha at that time, and Ketu was in 8th house, and
Okay.
8th house Cusps landed in Aradra. Is it anyway connected to this incident?
Yes. 8th house cusp is Ardra, then that's fine. That is enough. Yeah.
I'm the one who took the book to the
So
examiner and I
that's
showed.
a failure. That's a failure as well. So because the 8th house is connected to Ardra. So that's how it is. Yeah. Because 8th house would show a failure.
Okay. So now while you're telling the class, I was thinking maybe this is the reason for the failure which was happened in my life. Though I
Good.
got distinction in the subject, I got the first in the class, but I failed in the practical.
You would have not cared much about it, right? It's okay, and you moved on.
Yes. Yeah, I moved on, sir. I moved on because I topped in the class. Even in that subject, I got university first mark. Everyone were like, okay, it was a mistake.
Okay. Good. All right. Okay. Can I assume no more questions? Okay. Somebody has a question.
No, my mistake. I pressed.
Okay.
Hi, sir.
Yes.
The axis would be with the Sagittarius, right? So there will be any connection with the stars in the Sagittarius for Arudra? Or they, yeah, is there anything like that with Sagittarius, the opposite zodiac?
Ma'am, I didn't get your question correctly. Can you just give me a little?
Because Arudra is in Gemini, right? Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, the Arudra is in Gemini, right? So the opposite sign is Sagittarius. So yes, so will there be? And we know that Jupiter and Mercury doesn't go well with each other. So does this can overpower Arudra, or Arudra overpowers the Jupiter? That means if Jupiter is not good in the chart, so we think that Arudra got afflicted. You said that Ardra is a diamond, Ardra is very knowledgeable. So the other way around also can happen, right? So if it got afflicted.
That's what I said. So Uttarashadha, as I said, Uttarashadha starts in Sagittarius. So the first pada of Uttarashadha is in Sagittarius. The other 3 padas are in Capricorn. So Uttarashadha and and Ardra. So one may be provoking Ardra because there is a war, right? Uttarashadha starts a war, and Ardra has the destruction. So war would bring in.
So Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Let me complete. So war would bring in destruction, right? So Uttarashada starts a war and Rudra brings the destruction. So somebody provokes from here a war and Rudra starts killing people.
Oh, okay. So if Mars is there in Uttarashada, then we can expect that Ardra got afflicted.
No, nothing like that. Just by placing one planet in one star without using the lagna, I would say don't make any prediction.
With all the surrounding factors, there is a 10% or at least 20% of chance that it might be influenced by.
Let me explain it to you once again. So Uttarashada consists of the Vishwe Devatas. I would tell this in more detail when Uttarashada comes up. Uttarashada comes up when all the Vishwe Devatas are united. Okay. Just to give you a background, the next nakshatra of the Uttarashada is Shravana. Shravana has the Vishnu. So when all the gods are united, it means that the Devendra has lost the throne. Okay, he has lost the throne to the Nirruti, who is in the Mula Nakshatra. The Mula Nakshatra has Nirruti or the demon. Okay, Jyeshtha is the Indra, Nirruti is the demon. Jyeshtha and Indra got into a small fight, and Indra lost his throne. Okay, because Indra underestimated Mula and thought this is going to be a simple fight. I do it myself, and he went into a fight with the demon Nirruti. The Nirruti is nothing but the Alakshmi or the other face of Lakshmi, which tried to suppress Jyeshtha, because Jyeshtha was swinging, or the Indra was thinking he's invincible, and the Lakshmi wanted to teach him a lesson, because Indra had to come down and he has to rule the world. That's why she came in the form of Nirruti and tried to teach a lesson by just showing her up as a simple demon, which can be which can be defeated by Indra very easily. Indra underestimated the demon and went into a war with her, and he ultimately lost his throne. Then he went back to all the Vishwe Devatas and said, "Look, brothers, I've lost my throne and I lost all my wealth." So Uttarashadha said, "Okay, we are all the Devatas here. Let's all unite. When we all unite and try to fight the demon, that's when you can win. If you're going alone, you're going to lose." Because the demons were supported by the Sukracharya, who is more knowledgeable than the Jupiter. So this is a very complicated story. If you look at the whole story or the process of it, it looks very complex, because each nakshatra is connected from here, there, and here. And I'm telling this to you instantly. I never read this anywhere. After having read all the nakshatras, this must have been the sequence, is what I would strongly think, and that works. So I'm trying to give you the concept, but not like to place any planets here. You would get it automatically the moment you see the chart. It would strike it. It would strike. Otherwise, no matter how much ever I explain, it wouldn't fit in. It will take a little time. Be a little patient. So once all the Devatas united, they were called as the Vishwe Devatas. So even there is Indra inside it. All the Devatas united and fought with the demon Nirruti, and Indra got back the throne once again. But before fighting the demon, they went into contact with the Vishnu. Okay, so Vishnu and Uttarashadha will work together. If you see Shravana and Rudra, they are exactly in 6 and 8, opposite to each other. So if you look at Shravana, which is in the Capricorn, and you have Ardra, which is in the Gemini. Gemini to Capricorn is 8 houses. Capricorn to Gemini is 6 houses. So you have an 8 to 6 relationship with both Uttarashadha and the Ardra. Although Saturn and Mercury are ruling the planets here, and Saturn and Mercury are very good friends. Okay, because Saturn's Mula Trikona is in Aquarius. From there, from Aquarius to both the Mercurian houses are 5 and 8, which are very good friendly signs. So Saturn's very good friend is Mercury and very good friend is Venus. Both these planets would help Saturn. Despite the fact that, but still, if there are planets here, Ardra is going to work more, okay? Or they are going to push him into work. If somebody has planets in Capricorn, Ardra is working more to fulfill the needs of Capricorn. That's how it is. Because Vishwa Devatas called Rudra to go behind Rohini to stop Rohini. Or Vishwa Devatas gave work to Ardra. If Vishwa Devatas were not there, Ardra would not have got any work. That's what I would mean by provoking. So it can mean that they can damage Ardra, or they can give money, they can give work to Ardra and make it work. There can be both good and bad coming out from Uttarashadha. But what is not very good is if you have opposite planets in the Uttarashadha, Shravana, and opposing Ardra. So that would make a difficult situation. I mean, Mars exalted here and Mercury is also in the Gemini in the Ardra. It's not a very good combination because both Mars and Mercury are overpowered and they're trying to fight each other. If Mars is strong, Mercury has to be weak. If Mercury is strong, Mars has to be weak. That's when the chart is going to be well poised. But I'm trying to give you very generic statements. Do not try to interpret hard and fastly and come back with a solid thing, because Mars, if it is exalted here, it would stay for 30 days. If Mercury is in Ardra, it will stay for at least 10-15 days. There are 3 people born every minute. You cannot have the same rule working for everywhere. But the generic rule is, because Mars and Mercury oppose each other, when one of the fellow is strong, if the other fellow is weak, it makes the win easier for Mars or Mercury. If both are very strong, they don't like each other.
Yeah, got it, sir. Much better.
Okay.
Sir, I have one more doubt.
Yes, madam.
Sir, after checking few couple charts, what I noticed is there is a connection between the stars between the couples also. For example, if a husband 7th Lord cusp for 7th Lord Nakshatra or 7th Lord Dispositor will be wife's 1st Lord cusp for 1st Lord Nakshatra and 1st Lord Dispositor. Even the timing of marriage and even in Vimshottari Dasha and Kalkitra Dasha, it's matching, sir. So,
Yeah.
if any charts before marriage only come to us, can we predict that this man is going to marry this girl? Because there is a connection between both nakshatra, cusp, and depositors, along with timing of marriage. Can we predict so before marriage only?
Yes,
Two charts come to us.
yeah. I would not generally stop at that place of identifying the okay, this man's 7th Lord's dispositor is the other man's Lord, and so on. There are so many things that you can identify. One is having a marriage. How I would do is I would look at the time of marriage. So when is this person likely to get married, and when is the other likely spouse of him going to get married? If both charts are going to show the same time, I'll give 1 point. When is he going to have kids, and when is she going to have kids? I'll give another point. So when all of these add up, it means that yes, the destiny is both are going to get married.
Okay. Thank you.
But I would never match a chart like that. I mean, I would not say this man's 7th Lord Dispositor is not matching with the girl's Lagna Lord or Lagna Lord Dispositor. If that they don't match as well, the marriage can happen. Okay.
Okay.
Anything, if you're trying to establish a rule, okay, after having observed only 5 or 6 charts or 5, how many couples did you observe?
I observed around 11 to 12 couples, sir. Where
Okay.
for all the couples there is a matching, but I didn't say about kids. I don't know that, so I didn't. But even timing of marriage is matched both in Kalachakra and Vimshottari Dasha also.
That's
So
a
I
good
felt like
exercise. Why not?
So
Why not?
after
Why not you take up a class to all of our people? I mean, that would be interesting. I mean, if you are interested, let me know. Either in the Telugu class or
sir,
in the. I'm not kidding, or I'm not trying to say something wrong. Okay.
no, sir, by taking 10 charts, I can't take a class, sir.
No. This is what my
I'm
observations
thinking,
were. I would be happy
I
to
learn.
hear what your observations are. Maybe I would be learning something because I never checked somebody's seventh lord's dispositor with the Lord. I haven't even checked my chart with my wife in this regard. I don't know if they're matching or not. But
As I previously gave,
I would be happy to
previously
hear
I gave one
what
chart.
actually. Okay.
I checked it, sir. I find correlation. That's why I'm
Can you say
telling
once
you.
again what were your observations?
Previously, one girl, some anesthesia girl, came to you regarding it.
You don't
Intercaste
need to
marriage.
describe. You don't need to describe who the people are because we're going to put this on the YouTube. I don't want anybody's personal information.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sorry.
Yeah.
I checked her. I checked sir's chart actually, and without checking her chart only, I told either as she has some Ashwini Nakshatra connection. So I said you will take fast decisions because you have Ashwini Nakshatra connection without checking her chart only. So she was like, "How do you know I belong to Ashwini Nakshatra?" She said, "Yes, I belong to Ashwini Nakshatra. That's correct only." Just by checking dispositor, Cusp and seventh lord Nakshatra, I thought your wife will be like this. Maybe that girl with those nakshatras will come as a wife to me. I checked few charts, sir. They were correlated. Even Sujit chart, my husband's charts and my chart, nakshatras are correlated, sir.
Okay. Yes. Good to hear. So this lady, I mean, who I mean, I don't want to mention her name, who talked just now. You did not know astrology till last. This is only first year, right, of astrology?
Just 3 months. I'm learning from you only, sir.
Okay, only 2-3 months. Okay. Good. I mean, don't be overwhelmed by anything, or don't think this is the end of it, because I always keep saying there is Maya. Okay, there is Maya over everything which is ruling the world, and the Maya does not want humans to know everything. So it will keep throwing bigger problems at you the moment now you got to know this rule. So the next 10 charts, if you try to pick up, none of them will match. Okay. It can so happen. So what it will try is you leave the course, or you leave learning astrology, because the Maya does not want you to learn astrology. Nobody likes, the Maya, the Devata Maya, or the Yoga Maya, we call it, because the Yoga Maya and the Krishna are ruling together. If you ask Krishna devotees, they'll tell you. The Yoga Maya is trying to put people under illusion, and the Krishna is therefore ruling. So the Yoga Maya ensures that not everything is going to happen. It should not be predicted. If people get to know what is going to happen, there is more chaos than order. If you know what is going to happen in the next 15 years, date by date and time by time, there's more chaos, right? You'll get to know when you're going to die, what is going to happen when, and things like that. So it will try to push you into places wherein you stop learning. Nothing is working. I have learned so many things all these days, and I've got 3 charts. Well, none of the rules are working. It will happen for every astrologer. Take it from me, okay? It can be like your chart itself. Every chart will be decoded, but you can't find your own chart to be working with all the principles that you have learned. The Yoga Maya is trying to stop you from learning everything. Okay, you need to be patient. You need to keep reciting prayers every day, and keep vouching to the deity saying, look, I am going to use it only for good, not use this against humanity or trying to make money out of this just for the sake of money making. Okay, because you can create chaos with these subjects. So the yoga maya is trying to obstruct you and trying to see how much of endurance you have in you, so that the patience is tested, and that's when your chart will be revealed. No matter how much ever you learn about your chart, there will still be something which you don't understand, or it happens to me as well. I start to predict with every chart, but a lot of, if that is the case, I would know what is going to happen for me the next 1-2 years. I don't really know what's going to happen to me the next 1-2 years. Yes, I know to a little extent, for sure, but I cannot have that expertise or that kind of prediction that I'm making with somebody else's charts. I cannot make a prediction on my own self. That's how the Yogamaya stops oneself. Hope you understood what I said.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so keep trying. I mean, there would be a situation wherein this comes up and says, Yogamaya will come up and say, none of these are working. You don't lose the interest.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Sure. Anybody has more questions? Otherwise, we'll say good night for the day. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.